Okay. Okay, so we covered Tuesday. I will let you guys know if we're doing a meeting next week or not. For those that have just joined, so Rosemary and Donna, I am not available next week or next Monday to do a meeting either virtually or in person. So we can either skip a week of meeting or I can run a meeting on Tuesday. I'm okay with either, but just let me know your preference and I will plan around that. Some quick announcements. So oh, is that not working? Okay. Are you guys seeing a picture of Alex right now? Okay, good. Next, or actually this week, on Thursday, once again, this is the last time I'm going to do this slide, but the Buzz conference is running in Toronto. Alex has been asked to speak, so he will be on stage speaking about market trends, brokerage trends. I think they're getting into some AI tools. I don't know if that's what he is getting into or not, but he will be taking the stage with some other um, brokers of records to talk about the state of the market. So that will be fun. I think I am going to try my best to be there on Thursday as well. And then October 3rd, so next week, Mike Dacca will be running some Google Workspace training in our office. So as you know, Roy LePage is a Google-based company, so you all have access to Workspace for free. I know everybody takes advantage of email or the Roy LePage email, which is based on Gmail. Mike is going to get into a lot of the other tools. So there's Calendar, there's Google Drive, and I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but YouTube is owned by Google, so you could link to you could link to your YouTube channel and everything there. So Mike will be covering that on October 3rd. And then on October 17th, Roy LePage Learning Services will be coming in for two 90-minute sessions. So that adds up to 3 hours, but it's two different topics. So the first hour and a half will be on personal excellence for real estate success. And what that is persuasive communication techniques. So I think that one's really interesting. Session two is more tech-based. So RLP Sphere is launching, and KV Core is launching some new landing pages and smart campaigns. They're going to, for those of you that are interested in online lead generation and funnels, I think that would be a really good session for you to join in on as well. Hopefully you'll come to them both. It's great that we get access to Roy LePage Learning Services through their live facilitation. So this is a good day for us. Just if you have a moment, that QR code will allow you to register for the session, and we'll make sure that your registrations go through. For Mike's session, you don't have to register. This is something that's ongoing. We're going to run this session probably every 3 months or so. So you don't have to register. You can just show up for that one. But the Roy LePage Learning Services, you do need to register for. Okay, save the dates. Thursday, December 12th. You'll get some more information coming up, but that will be the day of our Christmas luncheon at Lionhead. For those of you that have been here for the past few, it's a beautiful location. The food is fantastic. So it'll be really good. So if you're planning to be around or you're hoping to know when that is going to be, it will be Thursday, December 12th, and more information will come shortly. Well, actually, I don't know how shortly. It's September, so more information is going to come. We'll see when. Some stats for you. Okay. So showing stats. Once again, showings are ramping up everywhere. I've talked to a few people about their open houses this weekend. AJ is on the call. He had like 25 people through the open house he was doing. So that is stepping up. Sales are still a little bit behind where they were in some areas compared to last year, but they're really close. But the showings, and we're seeing open houses, the activity is significantly ahead of where it was for the same time period last year. So in the area, in the areas that our offices are in, showings were up almost 30%. And there were fewer listings coming to the market last week than compared to the week before. So, which is good news because now you have more showings over fewer listings. So that's starting to look good too. And I know some of the some of the listings that I've been tracking that have not been getting a lot of activity have been getting some all of a sudden. So I think this is good news. Some interesting stats when compared to last year, the same week last year, there was 32%, just two double percent signs, I'm sorry, 32% more showings than the same week last year. So that's over 1,600 more showings just in the three communities our office is in. It's fantastic news. In Mississauga, new listings were down from 397 to 359, but showings were up by 30%. So Mississauga had an even bigger increase than Milton and Halton Hills. And days on market is also dropping a little bit. So this is all really good news in terms of activity. And I think you're going to start to see this reflecting in some of the sales that you're seeing over the next couple weeks. So it's for those of you that have listings coming to market and have active listings, I think this is good news. So in Mississauga, so we had 30% week over week, but compared to the same week last year, there was 1,300 more showings, so 33% increase compared to last year. So if you're looking for talking points or elevator pitches or anything, you can let them know that while the sales volume has not increased, interest rates are lower than they were at the same point last year, and activity is way higher. So so these are all great indicators for the next couple of months, I think. Unit sales are up in all of our markets week over week. Milton's unit sales increased from 24 to 26, and the price points that we're selling were also higher than the week before. So that's good news. Halton Hills units sold increased from 6 units to 9 units. In Mississauga, the condo units sold remained the same week over week. So we had 31 sales last week, 31 the week before, but there was an increase in freehold units sold. And we're seeing a little bit of competition in all price points. So it's so this is where we are seeing a bit more activity. There is where prices are going above asking, that we're starting to see that in even the 2 million plus homes. Months of inventory, a lot of volatility. Some areas seem stable, some areas are seeing big increases and decreases. When looking at condos in Toronto, pretty, not a huge increase, but Toronto Centre went up by almost half a month. Toronto East stayed the same, so 6.1, 6.1 after a big increase a couple weeks ago. And Toronto West also stayed the same, so 5.7. So still fairly balanced in the east and west ends, but the center is still a buyer's market. In Peel, over a half a month decrease in the Brampton condo market and a very slight increase in the Mississauga condo market. In Halton, Burlington had an increase. Milton had a big increase, even though it had an increase in units sold. It had a larger increase in inventory on the condo side. And Oakville had a slight increase as well. Hamilton, oh, this one says freehold. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong screen there. I'll have to get back to Hamilton after. When looking at freehold, Toronto Centre had where they had an increase of half a month on the condo side, they had a decrease of half a month on the freehold side. Toronto East also had a decrease, so Toronto East is still a seller's market. Toronto West held at 4.3, balanced market there, but headed towards a seller, back towards a seller's market. Brampton freehold went up just marginally, by 0.1 months of inventory. Mississauga slightly larger increases to a 4.4, but inventory is still pretty balanced there. In Halton, Burlington held firm at 4.1. Milton had a decrease, unlike the condo side, had a decrease of 0.2, and Oakville also had a decrease of 0.2. So seller's market in Milton, balanced market in Burlington, and balanced but still kind of almost buyer's market in Oakville. And Halton Hills. Halton Hills had a small 0.2 increase, but still pretty balanced there. So not a lot of volatility. The volatility is more on the condo side than on the freehold side. Hamilton freehold, just a small increase of 0.1. So again, more volatility on the condo side for months of inventory. Freehold has been a lot more stable over the last week. That's all I have for market stats. So that was pretty quick. I wanted to cut through the dry stuff, but important stuff because I want to give Talia as much time as she needs. But let's talk marketing with our marketing director, Talia Silverman.
Good morning, everyone.
Let me stop
I
my
know
share
Jason.
here so we can see your face.
Oh. We good?
We're good.
All right. Good morning. I know Jason prefers to see you guys all in person. I jumped at the opportunity to join you online this morning because it's really easy for me to share some information and show you some stuff that we've been working on in marketing. If anyone's got any questions or any thoughts, ideas that have been stewing that you wanted to talk about that relate to marketing this morning, please jump in and ask anytime. We have a couple of new programs that we launched over the summer. I know some of you are already signed up for these. For those of you that are not signed up, then hopefully I can give you some good reasons to go and check them out. So the first thing that's new is the Agent Reviews and Referrals program. So Meadowtowne partnered up with 121QA, who are sort of the leading experts in real estate surveys. They have developed a platform for us that allows us to reach out to your clients, solicit some feedback from them. And when that feedback comes back in, it goes directly to you. So you have the opportunity to review that information and decide if you want to publish it or not. The bigger picture here is that, part of this is to generate some testimonials for you that you can share on your social media, populate on your Meadowtowne agent profile. The bigger picture is to help you identify who of your existing client base is that smaller percentage of people that you should focus on for referral sources. So this is, over the long term, there's a lot of benefit here. Let me just see if I can share my screen so I can give you an example of how this works. Bear with me 1 second. I usually use Google Meets. There we go. Okay, can you guys see Brad there?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, perfect. So this is the agent profile that each of you has on Meadowtowne's website. So if you've got a deal or when you have a deal that goes firm, if you're part of the program, then the admin staff at the branch will reach out with a communication piece and ask your client to share some information about their experience with you. So when that comes back in and you've reviewed it, if you've decided to publish that testimonial, it will show up here at the bottom of your standard agent profile with Meadowtowne. You'll also have the option from there to share it out to your social media platforms. The other really cool thing about this is that if you have one of our new done for you websites, which we're going to talk about next, these will also populate here. So Brad is one of our early adopters and he's gotten some reviews coming in already. So I can show you, there we go. So on Brad's about page, pretty much everything that is on his agent profile comes through here. So if we update your headshot on the website, we update your bio, any of your social media links, any awards that you have or that you continue to receive will show up here. And here are the testimonials that have come in for Brad so far that he has decided to publish. So this is a completely free program. And it's fairly hands-off. We handle most of the work. You literally just need to sign up. And then when the testimonials come in, you decide what to do with them. So this is something that I would definitely recommend taking advantage of. And again, over time, as you receive more and more feedback, you will start to get a sense of who are the people that are taking the time to actually leave some commentary and give you some good information about their interactions with you. And that can help you to focus in on that smaller portion of your client base that you want to rely on for referrals. We have some additional information on this and a bit of a formula that 121QA has given us to work with in helping to identify those referral sources. So after the meeting today, we'll share all the information on everything we talk about with you by email. Any questions? Okay, so I'm going to move on to the done for you agent websites. So these are a really cool new offering that we've been super excited to get going. We've got a number of agent sites have launched over about the last 6 weeks or so. So these are meant to, fill that gap for anyone who doesn't have a website, for anyone who doesn't have the time to maintain a website, or for anyone who is paying too much for their current website or not finding that it's doing enough work for them. So these are, again, they're pretty hands-off. There's an initial sign-up process where you'll make some selections. You'll let us know, I want this template, I want this color scheme, here's some of the images that I like. And after that initial setup, we manage the rest for you. So you can see here Mal's site. Mal's got some custom imagery that was created by the marketing team. So that is something you can request when you are when you're filling out that sign-up form. And then we've got all of the brokerage listings here. So if you've got listings that are active, those are going to show up first at the top of the page here. If you don't currently have any active listings, like particularly if you're a new agent, this can be really helpful because it's always going to populate with the rest of the listings from the brokerage. So it always looks like you've got lots going on. And when you're filling out that initial form, you can give us some information there to let us know which types of listings you want and in which areas. So you can pick up to 5 markets so that you're targeting people in the areas that you're interested in working in. You can see there's lots of contact points here. All of these go directly on this site to Mal. Okay, so if anyone fills out a contact form or they're seeking any more information anywhere here, this will come directly to him. You can see that he's got, these are the markets that he's selected. So this is targeting people in those areas. We've got buyer specific pages. We've got seller specific pages. We also have a blog here. And this blog is pretty cool. This gives you guys some content to work with that you can send out by email. You can post it to socials, and you don't need to do anything with this. So we're part of a wider blogging network. And every couple of weeks, you'll see that there's some new content here. Not every piece of it will be relevant for each of you in that moment, but this is populated often enough, and there's enough to start with here that this should give you lots of pieces of content that are already built and you don't need to spend much time on. There's also some really good information here too. If you're working with a client, if somebody's asking you about selling their home in a buyer's market, you may want to direct them to your site and say, hey, check out the latest blog that I've got up here. One of the biggest selling points on these websites, one of the biggest features that we have here is sold data. So no more sending your clients to third-party sites, no need to use House Sigma. You can literally send them right to your own sold page. When somebody gets here, and you can send them here with a QR code, this is really great for social media, right? Like, want to know what your neighbor's house sold for, or anyone that's interested in looking at properties in a particular area and they want to see what the activity's been like there. You can send them right to this page, and when they go to sign up, that information is coming right to you. So this is a pretty awesome thing. I'm hearing that likely this is a technology, these VOW sites, that we'll start seeing them more and more with different brokerages. But as yet, I'm not aware of anyone else that actually is using these tools, or certainly not a lot of agents. And the ones who do have them are often using third-party sites. Jason might have a little more insight on this, but this right now is a pretty unique feature that we've got, and I would definitely recommend leveraging this.
Can I step in and add something here?
Please.
So a lot of so these vows have been available for a couple of years, but not a lot of people have used them yet. But more and more, you're starting to see agents get access to this. So I know, like, companies like Agent Locator are adding it to websites and stuff, except they're charging $160 a month. And so eventually, probably, I don't know how quickly, but my guess is within the next year to 2 years, almost everybody will have of the sold data available, which is, we call it a VOW website, virtual office website. And I think the more your clients or relationships get used to navigating this on somebody else's platform, the harder it's going to be to pull them back towards yours. So you have a chance to become an early adopter for this technology. And I think if you do adopt this, one of your primary goals should be to get this in the hands of as many people as possible. You know, it's I've TALIA built out one of these sites for me. I know I don't use it to sell anymore, but I have sent it to some of my friends, and I sent it to a close friend of mine and said, "Hey, check this out. You could use this tool." And his response was, "Oh, I have access to this on House Sigma." So now I have to explain to him, a good friend of mine, like, hey man, come on, like, it's could you use mine? So it's one of those things, the longer you wait, the harder it's going to be to get traction with. So whether it's this one, I think this one's the easiest option for you, but whether it's this or another option, I would jump on having access to a vow or sold data for your clients as soon as possible. That's it. Sorry.
No, you're good. Thank you. And again, like sharing anything from these websites can be as simple as just copying the URL. If you want a QR code for like your business card or for, any flyers, any posts that you're doing, we saw Jason have one earlier in the slide deck. You can always reach out to marketing and we can create one for you. You just let us know where you want it to link to. So we can make this really easy for clients or prospects to access pretty much anything or everything that's in these websites, whether that's a specific blog post or it's the vow site with the sold data. So definitely a good tool to leverage. And again, we'll send out the information. There's some additional information on these and also the sign up form for anyone that hasn't joined yet. I'll show you one other just quick example so you can see kind of the difference in these sites. So we do have a few different template options, and to make sure that they've got a unique look and feel, we were able to do some work in terms of branding, if you've got any logos or color schemes that you're using for yourself, and certainly customizing some of the imagery throughout the site so that these sites look really specific and unique to you. Any questions, sir? Thoughts, comments, feedback from anyone using one?
Talia, can you go over the pricing for this? And is there any additional fees for the vow? Because I know at my website that I'm using, they're charging an additional $10 a month just to use it.
No, so the vow with Meadowtowne is included completely free. And when I send out, when we send out the information after the meeting today, you'll see the pricing table in there. They're very affordable. These are really inexpensive. We wanted to give you guys a good.
There's different levels of websites,
or
it's all the same.
No, they're pretty much all the same. So we have the templated option. We do have a custom option where you could completely change the layout of these sites. There is a setup fee for those that is substantially more expensive, but there's, in most cases, I don't think most of our agents would need them. Okay. If for some reason you wanted a heavily customized site, we do have the option. But the fees for these are very competitive and very low. We wanted to give you a really inexpensive way to get online and make it easier for you to get found.
Okay.
Sound good?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, unless there's any other questions, I'm going to move on. So Jason and I love to check out new AI tools. And we spent some time recently looking at some new stuff that's available for agents. And we've kind of always got our eyes open for it, things that are inexpensive, easy to use, because some of these can get really complex and sort of daunting. And we found a couple of new things that I wanted to share with you today. So the first one is called homedesigns.ai. And this is, it's kind of a virtual staging app, but this also gives you options to like declutter a space, to try different design themes and options. So if you've got a client that's, maybe looking at a property that they might be considering renovating or they don't love the look of it, you can literally just upload a photo in here, give it different style options, and with a single button click, you can see right here, we've got the design styles. There are tons of these. You can upload a photo and literally with a button click, completely change the look of the space. So there is a free version of this available. So if you're using this, to show an existing client, what their space could look like before you prep their listing and before that goes live, or when they're looking at a potential property, you could also use this to stage a property. Okay, so if you've got a new build, or you're not looking at a full budget for staging, this can be a really great tool. The free option is great if you're working with an existing client and you're not planning to put it in the listing. If you were planning to use this for virtual staging in a listing that's going live, probably you would want a paid version. These start at, I think the memberships for this one start at about $30 a month. So pretty versatile, really easy to use tool, and free or inexpensive. So definitely one to check out if you have any use for it. The next one is SubMagic. So whenever you're talking to our marketers, you hear a lot from us about social media. And I know that, creating content, getting good content out there, getting that content seen, it can be kind of daunting. It can be very time consuming. If you're doing any videos or you're considering doing any videos, this application, SubMagic, is pretty cool. So you can see in the demo here, we've got, standard video, somebody talking. You can upload this into this system.
Not just somebody, that's Mr. Beast and Simon Sinek.
Apologies. This could be you right here. You upload this video and then it's going to auto-generate these captions. It will put in these cool little transitions and some of those effects that you're seeing there. What we see is that doing these things, running your video content through a system like this, this increases engagement. I think the average is 400%. So this can really take content that you're making. If you're doing a quick video in the car, or a walkthrough in a property, or you're talking about market stats, this can add some punch to your videos. And this tool is really meant for those shorter clips. So like Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, both of which I highly recommend using if you're not yet. But again, this is something really cool that can save you a lot of time and really help you capitalize on the work that you're doing in social media. And this one, I think the fees for this start at about $15 a month. So pretty inexpensive tool that'll save you a lot of time and pack more punch in the content that you're making. This last one, this is a tool that can get slightly more involved. If you're someone who is doing a lot of video content, or if you're considering it, this is packed with features. You can upload a video into here, make a bunch of different clips for different platforms. It can help to generate scripts for you. So it's got almost like a chat GPT component where it'll pull the text together. I want to show you one really quickly. I want to show you one super cool feature. Let's say you're recording some video and you realize afterwards that maybe your eyes weren't focused in a way that is looking right at the audience that you're talking to. This has an eye contact corrector. So if you're filming your video and your dog walks in the room, you get distracted, this will actually adjust your eyes so that they come back to center. You can see the difference here. It's a little bit creepy, also very cool. So if you're taking the time to make video content, you want to make sure that you're speaking directly to the audience and that the time you're putting into that is going to pay off for you and that you're leveraging it as best you can. This is one way to help do that.
The thing I like about that one is that you can, if you haven't memorized what you want to say, or it helps if you read something, you can actually read a script and then adjust the eyes after, so it looks like you're looking into camera the whole time. So it's really good for video creation if it's scripted.
And on that note, it actually has a teleprompter built in as well. So it'll teleprompt on the screen as you're filming. But I mean, your eyes may still end up a little bit off center. So having that correction tool that's literally a button click away is pretty neat. So those are some current new things to check out that'll help to give you an edge when you're making your social media content. And just a quick reminder for anyone, whether you were able to join us or you have seen the videos, I did do a 2-part social media for realtors workshop last year. Those workshops were recorded and they are up on our YouTube channel. If you're not currently following our YouTube channel, I recommend that you do. We put a lot of great content there. A lot of the recordings of the events that we have at Meadowtowne are there. So if you ever miss a session, you can often find it there. But that two-part series you can find in the where is it? It's in professional development section of our YouTube page. And even if you've seen them, you may want to go back and check them out and see, what new piece of information you may be able to take from them. So those videos had some tutorials in them on, which platforms to focus on, how to set up some of those platforms, what kind of content is available to you that's already made either through Royal LePage or through the in-house marketing team at Meadowtowne. There is a lot there for you to work with so that you can stay focused on real estate and we can focus on marketing. And I think that's all I have for today, unless anybody's got any questions, comments, musings.
The quick question about the website. I already know the answer, but I know some people will forget to ask. Can you choose your own domain, or does it have to be linked through the Meadowtowne site?
You can choose your own custom domain. We actually have a number of agents who have done this recently. So, if you've got bobsrealestate.com and you'd like to tie that in, there's a one-time fee that I think is about $120 just to cover the setup. But going forward, then it's once that's done, there's no additional fee for it, and you can have whatever URL you would like to direct people to.
Thank you. All right.
No takers. All right. Thank you guys so much for having me today.
Thank you. Okay, everybody, that's all for today. I will stay online for a few minutes. I apologize, I didn't get the recording of last week's meeting out. I was a little overwhelmed last week, but I will complete it and you will get 2 recordings this week. We're getting caught up, I promise, but I'm going to stay on for a few minutes if anybody has any questions or if you just want a little bit of coffee talk in the morning. But otherwise, go be productive. Have a great week. It's nice to see a large turnout this week, but don't get used to the virtual. I still don't love it.
Just about to say, can we do this again next week?
Well, what does everybody think? Does everybody prefer virtual or do you prefer live? I know, so just so you know, Milton does completely virtual, which will change once that renovation is complete. And Alex does hybrid. So he does live, but people can join virtually. The disadvantage to hybrid is we don't have the microphone setups. So if we have a guest speaker or an open discussion, those that are joining virtually will only hear one side of that conversation clearly. But do people prefer the hybrid option? All right. See, this is why I don't like virtual.
I
prefer in person.
I like to have the opportunity to have a hybrid, Jason.
What's that?
I like to have the opportunity to have a hybrid. Sometimes actually you're just running some errands, you're just driving or whatever, and then for some reason you cannot attend the meetings in person.
Yeah.
And then it'll be cool actually just to have an option, or maybe have like one on, one off, I guess.
Okay. Here's what I'll do. Starting in 2 weeks, because we're not going to have the meeting next Monday, but in 2 weeks, I will attempt a hybrid version. No promises that it's going to go smoothly, but I'll run it the same way Alex is running in Georgetown, and we'll see what the feedback is like. But just so you know, I don't have the hardware or the technological capability to make it perfect in terms of you being able to hear guest speakers, because as you know, typically our meetings involve a case study. So we do a case study or an open discussion, and if you listen to the recordings of these meetings, if you're virtual, like if you're on the stream side of it or the virtual side of it, you won't get as clear audio. But if you guys are okay with trying that, then I will try it. Okay, I'll try it. But I swear to God, if people just stop coming to the live one completely, I will turn it off before you can blink.
I'll be there in person. I hate virtual.
All right, sounds good. Thank you. Have a great week, everyone.
Have a
Thank
great
you.
weekend.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, Jason. Have a good one.
You too. Take care.
Thank you.
I'm gonna stop recording now.
Can I ask a question, Jason? Can you
Of
hear me?
course. Yep.